Stop right there. Before you reach for that can of spray under the sink, I need to tell you something first, because if you do not understand this one thing, nothing else I say will matter. The roaches you can see are not your problem. They are a symptom, a signal. For every single roach that crosses your counter after midnight, there are 40 or 50 more behind your walls, tucked into the warm crevices behind your refrigerator, packed into the back corners of your cabinets, living in the narrow gap beneath your dishwasher. The ones you see are the ones that got hungry enough or crowded enough to come out into the open. The rest are invisible to you. They are back there breeding. They are back there hatching. And every can of spray you have ever bought, every trap you have ever set, every time you stomped one on the kitchen floor and felt like you won, none of it reached the ones you cannot see. That is the truth the spray companies would prefer you never learned. Who I am. My name is Elias Yoda. I am Amish. I raised 7 children in a Pennsylvania farmhouse with a wood cook stove, no air conditioning, an open root cellar full of cured meat and dried goods in summers that are hot and wet enough to draw every creeping thing on God's earth right to your door. We have never had a roach infestation. Not once in all those years. Not by luck, by knowledge. What I'm going to show you today I learned from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It costs about $4 in ingredients from any grocery or hardware store. It requires no exterminator, no monthly contract, no chemical fog sprayed around the food your family eats off the stove every morning. And it works. Not because it kills the roaches you can see, but because it reaches the ones you cannot. That is the whole difference. And by the end of this, you will understand exactly why. What you are dealing with. Let me tell you what a German cockroach actually is, because most people have it wrong. The small light brown cockroach you find in your kitchen, and in most American kitchens, is not a yard pest that wandered inside. The German cockroach cannot survive outdoors in most of this country. It was not born in the grass or under a log. It was born in your house. Its parents were born in your house. It has spent every moment of its short life in the warm, dark spaces of your kitchen. And that is where it will die. This is an entirely indoor creature. It depends on human buildings the way a fish depends on water. Now, here's the number you need to understand. A single female German cockroach produces a new egg capsule every 2 to 3 weeks. Each capsule, a small, brown, seed-shaped case you have likely seen stuck in cabinet corners without knowing what it was, holds 30 to 50 eggs, one capsule. And she produces them her entire adult life. The math compounds fast. In a single year, one female and her surviving offspring can account for tens of thousands of descendants. When you see 5 or 6 roaches scatter across your floor when you flip the kitchen light on, you do not have 5 or 6 roaches. You have 5 or 6 that were crowded or desperate enough to venture out where they could be seen. The colony behind them may be hundreds deep. This is also exactly why spray fails. You hit the ones on the surface, the ones on the wall, in the refrigerator motor housing, and the void behind your cabinets. They never touch the chemical. And the egg capsules, sealed inside hard shells that no surface spray penetrates? 3 weeks later they hatch. The survivors of your spray continue breeding, and the infestation is back, slightly smarter about which surfaces to avoid, and a little more chemically resistant than before. You end up buying more spray. The roaches end up more resistant to it. Nobody wins that game except the company selling you cans. You cannot fight this from the surface. You have to reach into the colony, and to do that, you have to use the roach's own behavior against them. Step 1, find them. Before you mix anything or buy anything, you need to map where they actually live. Roaches want 3 things at all times: warmth, moisture, and tight spaces, where their belly and back are both touching a surface. A roach sitting in the open is an anxious roach. A roach wedged into a 3/8 inch crack beside a warm motor is a contented roach. So think about where your kitchen is warmest, dampest, and tightest. The motor compartment at the bottom of your refrigerator runs around the clock, generates steady heat, has a drip pan of standing water underneath it, and is completely dark and undisturbed. This is the single most common cockroach harborage in American homes. Pull your refrigerator out from the wall right now, before anything else, and look at the back of it, the bottom of it, and the floor and wall behind it. Take a flashlight. I will warn you, if you have an active infestation, you may not like what you find. Then look under the sink. The pipes that come through the wall always leave gaps, and those gaps lead straight into the wall cavity. The wood under there is often slightly damp from small drips, which makes it prime real estate. Look at the space behind and beneath your dishwasher. Look at the hinges and back corners inside every cabinet door. Look at the seam where the countertop meets the wall. Look around the back of your stove, where it connects to the gas line or the outlet. Get a good flashlight and go through every cabinet. You're looking for 2 things. First, egg capsules, those small brown grain-shaped cases stuck to surfaces. Second, smear marks, which are dark, greasy streaks left by roaches traveling the same path repeatedly. Wherever you find those marks, that is a highway. Mark everyone in your memory. That is where the bait will go. My mother would tap the wall beside the stove and say, "It is not the kitchen you can see that keeps you, it is the kitchen you cannot." She meant that keeping a clean and orderly kitchen means nothing if the hidden spaces are full of grease and crumbs and moisture. Anybody can wipe a counter. The woman who never has a roach problem is the one who pulls the stove out twice a year and scrubs behind it. Step 2. Take away everything else. Now, before the bait, the cleaning, and not the cleaning you are thinking of. The reason this step cannot be skipped is simple. If your kitchen still offers a roach 20 other meals, your bait is competing with 20 free options. Why would anything eat your pea-sized ball of bait when there is bacon grease behind the stove and crumbs in the bottom of the silverware drawer? Pull the stove out and clean the floor and wall behind it. Grease accumulates back there steadily over months and years, and it is enormously attractive to cockroaches. Clean the crumb tray in your toaster. Wipe out the insides of your cabinets. Look at every surface that normally goes unseen. Then take every food item stored in cardboard or a paper bag. Flour, sugar, oats, cereal, crackers, rice, pasta, coffee, pet food, all of it, and move it into glass jars with tight lids or rigid sealed containers. Cockroaches chew through cardboard and paper without difficulty. A sealed glass jar is a wall they cannot cross. My grandmother kept her entire pantry in glass jars on open shelves. People who visited assumed it was a matter of tidiness or display. It was a matter of pest control. Every jar was a lock. Do not leave dishes sitting in the sink overnight. Do not leave your dog or cat's food bowl on the floor after they have eaten. Pick it up when they are done. Fix any dripping pipe under the sink, any faucet that does not quite shut off. A cockroach can survive more than a month without eating, but only about a week without water. Remove their water source, and you have cut their effective lifespan dramatically. Take the garbage out every evening and keep the can covered. When you have done all of this, your kitchen offers very little to the roaches that are living inside it. Now the bait you place becomes the most attractive thing available. Not one choice among many, but the only real option left. You're not just adding a lure. You are removing every competitor to that lure. 4 generations. Here is the recipe. You need 3 things: creamy peanut butter, real honey, and boric acid, a white powder available at any hardware store or pharmacy for a couple of dollars. Boric acid is a naturally occurring mineral compound. It has been used to control insects for well over 100 years. Before the measurements, I want to speak plainly about safety. Boric acid is far less toxic to people and animals than most commercial pesticides, but it is not something you want a child or a pet consuming. Wear gloves when you mix it. Store the container out of reach. And when you place the bait, put it only in the hidden places. Deep in cabinet corners, behind the refrigerator, back under the sink near the pipes. Never anywhere a child could reach. If you have small children or animals who get into everything, and you cannot guarantee that placement, then use the diatomaceous earth method I will explain in a moment instead of, or alongside, this bait. The recipe. In a small bowl, put 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, add half a tablespoon of honey. The peanut butter carries a smell that draws roaches from across a room. The honey delivers the sugar and moisture they're always seeking. Mix those 2 together thoroughly, then add half a tablespoon of boric acid and mix until you have a smooth, uniform paste. That proportion matters. More boric acid is not better. If the concentration is too high, the roach dies too fast before it makes it home, and others may taste something wrong and avoid the bait entirely. You want the roach to eat its fill and feel fine for a day or 2, long enough to walk all the way back to the colony. The slow action is not a flaw in this method. The slow action is the whole point. Roll the paste into balls the size of a pea. Place each one on a small square of wax paper or cardboard so you can pick them up and replace them easily. Replace the bait every 2 to 3 weeks as the peanut butter dries out and loses its scent. Fresh bait works considerably better than old bait. Why this reaches the ones you cannot see. Here is what makes this approach different from anything you have bought in a can. After a roach eats the bait, it feels nothing unusual for hours, sometimes a full day or more. In that time, it walks back to the harborage, back behind the refrigerator, inside the wall, into whatever hidden place the colony is clustered. And then it dies there, among the others. Roaches eat their dead. The other roaches consume the one that died, and in doing so, they consume the boric acid that is now inside that body. Their droppings also carry boric acid, and those droppings are eaten by others in turn. The poison moves through the colony through their own feeding habits. It reaches roaches that never came anywhere near your bait, roaches that never left the harborage, roaches that no spray could ever touch. 1 pea-sized ball of bait can carry poison through a dozen or more roaches it never had any direct contact with. A spray kills what it touches, and then it stops. This bait keeps moving through the colony long after you placed it, carried by the roaches themselves into the deepest hidden places. That is the cascade. And that is how you kill the ones you cannot see. Diatomaceous earth. The second tool. For those who cannot safely use boric acid, or who want a permanent second layer working alongside the bait, there is diatomaceous earth. Buy only the food-grade kind, not the kind made for pool filters. Diatomaceous earth is a soft, white powder made from the fossilized shells of ancient microscopic aquatic creatures. Ground fine. To your hand, it feels like talcum powder or flour. Under a microscope, every particle has sharp, crystalline edges. When a cockroach walks through even a light dusting of it, those particles scratch through the thin, waxy coating on the insect's body, and the roach slowly dehydrates and dies. There is no resistance to this. A cockroach can develop tolerance to a chemical over generations. It cannot evolve its way around dehydration. And unlike the bait, which needs refreshing every few weeks, a thin dusting of food-grade diatomaceous earth in a dry, hidden space, a wall void, the deep back of a cabinet, the channel beneath a cabinet kick plate, will go on working for months or even years without any attention, as long as it stays dry. The key word is thin. A visible pile of anything will cause a roach to walk around it. A fine, barely there dusting they cannot detect is what works. Less is more. Use the bait to pull them in and move the poison through the colony. Use diatomaceous earth in the dry, undisturbed runs and voids as a permanent barrier. Together, they form a complete system. Doing it all together. Here is the full approach from beginning to end. After dark tonight, go into your kitchen, turn off the light, stand still for 2 minutes, and then turn the light on fast. Watch where they scatter. That shows you the travel paths. Tomorrow, pull the refrigerator out from the wall. Pull the stove out. Clean behind both of them completely, including the floor and walls. Transfer all dry goods into sealed glass or hard plastic containers. Repair any drips under the sink. Remove overnight food sources. Mix the bait. 2 tablespoons peanut butter, half a tablespoon honey, half a tablespoon boric acid. Roll into pea-sized balls on wax paper and place them in the hidden spots you mapped with the flashlight. Behind the refrigerator, near the motor, inside the undersink cabinet near the pipe gaps, in the back corners of cabinets, along the travel paths marked by smear trails. Dust a fine, barely visible layer of food-grade diatomaceous earth into the dry cracks and voids where they run. Then wait. 3 full weeks. You will see the numbers thin out day by day. The young ones hatching from egg capsules you could not find will eat the bait before they are old enough to reproduce. By the end of the first month, if you have done all of it together, your kitchen will be silent at night. Not one part of this works on its own. The cleaning without the bait just leaves them hungry and looking elsewhere. The bait without the cleaning gives them a choice, and they may not choose yours. The diatomaceous earth without the bait only catches what wanders through. Altogether, you are removing their food, their water, their harborage, and then placing a slow poison on their highway that they carry home to the ones they would never let you find any other way. That is not a product. That is a way of thinking about your house, and it has kept my family's kitchens clean through 4 generations, through Pennsylvania summers, through wood stoves and root cellars, and all the conditions that should have invited every pest on earth through the door. It will work for you too.